Hi, my name is Patrick, and this video is to tell you your daily preparation plan for MBA CET. General idea as to what you need to prepare and for how long. That's the basic idea of this video. You can modify the plan. It's not that you have to do this daily. You can do obviously one day quant, one day abstract reasoning, one day logic as such. But this will give you a rough idea as to the weightage that you need to give for different sections. So if you look at the exam, verbal has 50, quant has 50, logic has 75, abstract reasoning has 25. So based on this, if I look at preparation, your daily plan, I would say reading half an hour important. Why reading is important? Because I remember talking to students who were finding reading a little difficult, especially English. So what happens is when they find reading difficult, when they go for the exam, the reading takes long time. So reading and understanding a question takes a longer time, and because of which they end up solving lesser number of questions. But if you're good at reading, you can obviously read faster any question, be it maths, be it logic, be it English, and you can read faster so you can solve questions faster. So reading becomes important. So I recommend at least half an hour reading every day minimum, so that you get used to the language, English language. You can read newspapers, you can read magazines, you can read whatever, but try reading. That helps, novels, etc., to help you build on the speed of reading, because a lot depends on how fast you can read in the exam to some extent, because speed based exam. Verbal, I feel the best way to solve verbal or practice verbal is to solve verbal exercise instead of going to a grammar books, etc., which takes a longer time and which ends up confusing you because there's so many exceptions to the English language that it ends up confusing you. So instead of that, take a few verbal exercises. I mean, maybe two or three. Verbal exercises finish fast. It's vocab based, grammar based, normally finish fast. And check your answers and see where you do your mistake. And then those mistakes note it down in a book so that you can learn from those mistakes. That's the best way to go about verbal. So solve verbal exercises and look at the, as I said, look at your mistakes and note it down. You can do vocabulary. I'm not mentioning vocabulary out here, but you can do vocabulary if you want for some time every day, just to build on your vocab. Else, this will suffice. For logic, normal practice will do, but logic will require more number of practice purely because logic has higher weightage, 75 marks, and logic normally improves with practice. The more you practice logic, the better it is. So pick up different kinds of logic questions. Critical reasoning, your syllogism, puzzles, etc. See the weightage and keep practicing. Maybe in a daily, you can maybe take out 3 or 4 different types of logic questions and just practice to be familiar with those questions. It helps. So more time for logic because of higher weightage, one, and second, because it helps, because more you practice, the better you become at logic. Content DI, have just kept 1 hour, but you can reduce or increase it based on your comfort level. You can make it half an hour based on your comfort level. So quant, basically for students who are really weak in quant, can give less time to quant. Remember in CET there is no sectional cutoffs. So that means if you're really weak in quant, that means in the exam you will spend less time in quant section. So it makes sense to spend more time in logic, but don't completely ignore quant. Pick up a few areas of quant which you're comfortable with, or practice DI so that at least you can solve some questions in those areas. That could help. So don't give up quant and DI practice even if you're weak at it. Ensure that you practice a bit and go. If you're strong at it, ensure that you improve your speed and get more marks in quant because you can get higher marks. Abstract reasoning, a lot of people find it difficult because it is new. But what I've seen is the more you practice abstract reasoning, the better it is. So initially you can give only half an hour per day, that's sufficient. But as and when you come closer to the exam or when you write mocks, start giving more time for it. Because again, abstract reasoning is like logical reasoning. The more you practice, the more you're comfortable with it, the better you will be in the examination to score more marks, right? So this is a rough estimate in terms of time distribution for different sections. As I said, we put more time for logic because logic is the area which can easily, give you more marks, but you need to practice it. Abstract reasoning right now are given less marks purely because the weightage is less, but I think it, as and when you practice more and more, it should improve, and then maybe you can increase the time later on. Reading important, remember that. People ignore this part, but reading definitely helps you to build on your speed because you understand the language better. So do this daily. This is a minimum time I've given for each section as such. Do this daily. As I said, you can modify it based on your comfort level. Maybe one day you do verbal, one day you do logic, and so on, based on your comfort level. But follow this particular schedule, sort of. That should help. Right? All the best. Thank you.